Hey guys, I am filming a second video today and this one is a lot of fun, and yes, I still have the stiff neck because it's the same day. I'm just like pre-recording some videos so that I can take a day or two off and maybe rest whatever the heck I have going on over here. So this is a fun video because my friend, I have the baby, just so I have to keep an eye on her. This is a fun video because my friend Anne, just Anne, tagged me in her video where this is like a challenge that's going on, I guess. The challenge is to choose 10 palettes you cannot live without. Like, these are palettes, like if you had to get rid of everything else, would you? And be happy with what you have. Or at least that's what I'm understanding. And so I remember when she did her video, she was like, I cheated. And she actually chose 11 palettes. See, I cheated even more because I chose 13. Like, I went through my entire collection and I was like, Mija, I don't know what to do because these are palettes that I absolutely love. I will forewarn you, and I'm gonna get into it, and I'm gonna try to make this video short. I'm gonna forewarn you that a lot of these palettes don't have too many dents and they're not that messy. When I do my unboxings and review new makeup, and I do a lot of work behind the scenes, and I do like freelance advertisement for brands and that kind of stuff, they're sending me product. So I don't get to use these palettes on a day-to-day basis the way I would love. However, on a day like today that I'm not doing a tutorial and I'm like, you know what, I just want to like do my makeup the way that I would like to do it, the way I feel today, these are the kinds of palettes that I would like go towards. Okay, these are the ones that I gravitate towards, and these are the ones that I 150 million, and I'm not being dramatic, % recommend you guys have in your collection. If you cannot get them all, try to get one. Holidays are coming at some point soon, so it's an opportunity for you to like make a list, and I'll list these down below for you guys. I'm gonna show you guys a palette that is so stinking affordable. It is mind-boggling to me, but it's such great quality. I absolutely love her, especially when I want to play around with colors. It is the Profusion Spectrum palette. I think this palette goes for like $8. You can get it at Walmart, you can get it at profusion.com. And to be honest, I've gone to Five Belows and I've seen Profusion being sold at certain Five Below. Not every single Five Below, but certain Five Belows. Definitely something to look for when you go to a Five Below store. Look at these colors. So when I want to play around with color and I'm like, I don't need a crazy palette with 50 million colors in it. I want to keep it simple. I definitely want to use colors of the rainbow. This is a palette to go for. You're gonna get pigment, you're gonna get quality, and you don't have to break the bank in order to kind of get a really nice look. I love this palette. And by the way, yes, I have several very colorful palettes, but I also have like my neutral palettes, like very toned down. I love color. I love everything. I don't stick to colors of like my browns and blacks. I like it all. The next palette is the Defiance palette by Carmela Cosmetics. And I promise you, never in a million years when I initially opened it did I think that this would be a palette that I would be obsessed with. Do you see this here? I was able to wet that corner and use a solution that I created in order to create a wing, a nice brown, kind of toned down wing. That's very, like, these formulas are absolutely amazing, and this is one of those brands that I feel like I'm so happy was featured in a beauty box, because otherwise I would have never known they existed. Their quality is absolutely stunning. They have other products that I cannot wait to try. I've tried their lippies. Oh my god, so good. So if you want a palette that you can snag off of a beauty box like this came in Ipsy, you need to try this one if you haven't. She is absolutely stunning, and this reminds me of like the Urban Decay ones. So if you never ended up getting any of the Urban Decay ones and you're like, man, I really would like something with that color story, but like one or two of them have been discontinued, this is definitely a great option. Don't judge me, she's old, but I will never ever get rid of her. This is the KVD, well at the time it was Kat Von D. This is the shade Light Eye palette. I continue to revisit her. I know she's old, okay? That's why I'm saying don't judge me. She's very old, but this is one of like the first palettes that I invested in that was full on matte, and you can really multitask it. She doesn't smell funny. The quality is still there. She still performs. Yes, I still use her, and the reason why I've kept her after so long ago, we're talking like this is 4+ years. Yes, you're technically supposed to get rid of them, but I did get in the habit. I don't have it. Where is it? Where is it? I can't find it in my mess, but I did get in the habit of having a little spray like spray bottle with alcohol. So if you tend to take care of your palettes and disinfect them after using them or before storing them at the end of the week, then you should be fine. So that's what I've tended to do with a lot of my palettes. When I'm getting ready to like store them away, I would go ahead and spray them, give them a minute, maybe like 5-10 minutes, let it kind of air dry, and then we are good to go. That will help with the limitation of any bacteria or possible bacteria growing in your palettes. Plus it allows you to keep it as part of your collection for longer, which makes me happy. And yeah, I will never replace her. But of course, you guys know that these two palettes are like a must-have for this video, okay? The struggle to get them in the Boxy event stores was insane. I ended up getting this one first. Look at this, it's pure pigment, okay? Look at this color story. She is absolutely stunning. I feel like I would never get rid of her. One, because of the struggle that I went through to get her, and two, because look at this color story. She gives you everything that you could ever want when it comes to color, quality, pigment, and the same for the orange one. This one was harder to get my hands on, but I really wanted her because of the pops of greens and blues with all the oranges in it. So these two are definitely palettes that have always made me happy, just knowing that I have them in my collection finally. And yeah, I know, well girl, it's not like they were discontinued. You could have just gone onto the Norvina website, Sephora, and purchased it, but I didn't want to pay full price. I knew they were gonna end up in the Boxy store for much cheaper, and that I just needed to be patient. So that's what I did, okay? But those two are definitely palettes that like are must-haves, 100%. This Pro palette by Ofra Cosmetics is a must. This is the Summer Edit eyeshadow palette. You get mattes and you get shimmers, but you're also getting frosted shades. You have some very, very wearable corals. You get your peaches, you have your café con leches, you have your browns, you have your bronzes, and you have an amazing, really dark, deep black. And yes, the black is matte. And when it comes to Ofra Cosmetics, you guys know I absolutely love them. I love their formulas. I think that for their price point and the fact that you get so much bang for your buck, like you should definitely invest in Ofra Cosmetics products. This palette is so stunning. When I've done like that outer corner smoked out kind of JLo glow type of look, it's been with this palette over here. This is again their Summer Edit palette. You're getting 20 pans, and yes, I do have the discount code always in every single video down in the description box. So if you ever wanted to snag their palettes or anything like that, just know you can totally do that. Also, these pans are all magnetized, so if you were ever to hit pan on any of these, you can just kind of pop it out and purchase a replacement for so much cheaper. And I think that's just freaking ideal, and it was smart for them to do that because it also allows you to customize your palette, you know? So it's amazing. Here's the palette that I used to create this eye look today, and I know she pricey, okay? This is the Charlotte Tilbury Smoky Eyes Are Forever. It is the Instant Eye palette. Is it not amazing? I use mainly mattes, and then the shimmer that I put on the inner portion is this one over here. But I love how they set this palette. There's no way that you can fail an eye look with this palette. They have it set up in threes, so these three you can use together, these three you can use together, these three you can use together, and these three you can use together. So it's definitely a palette that is gonna work for everyone, whether you are new to makeup, a novice, or a super expert. You can definitely enjoy a palette like this and not be overwhelmed by the amount of color and the tones. And the thing about it is, once you get the hang of their formulas, which are super easy, the thing is they're so creamy and like shimmery and stuff. So once you get the hang of their formulas and you know exactly what you're looking for out of a look, you can kind of bypass like the 3 like, you know, the groupings that they have, and you can go and do like, okay, I want to use this one, this one, this one, and this one, which is what I did. So I kind of skipped around to create the eye look that I did today, and it just worked. And if you want luxury, if you want fancy, and you want to feel good, and you just want amazing, like this here was just like a boop, and then that was it. You want quality. Charlotte Tilbury is definitely a way to go. She's absolutely stunning. I have another one. That one's beautiful too. Say hi. Say hi, guys. Oh, we had to take a quick little breaky because look at who woke up. Yeah, I love you. If you haven't seen her for a while, here she goes. She's 1 and 3 months. If you want to see more of her and me and my tie, my husband, make sure you go and subscribe to my vlog channel. It is linked down below in the description box. Good job. Yay. You already know the drill. Cam is in the room, so if you hear some tapping, she is creating her own little drum set with my baskets and my brushes. So wish me luck. Let's just hope I can get through the balance of this video without pure chaos in the room. The balance of these palettes are influencer palettes, and I really love them. As I was going through my entire collection, I was like, oh, there's no way I couldn't grab these, okay? I know you guys will understand. One of them is the Jaclyn Hill Divine Neutrals palette. It is a collab that she did with Morphe. Here's the thing though. I love how the top row are all mattes, and they go from really light and gradiently move up to a really dark chocolate. And she did something super similar with the metallic kind of chromy shades at the bottom, which makes me really happy. This here is definitely just one of those palettes that if you're into neutrals, it's a must-have in your collection. And being realistic, you can take these metallics and pop them all over the lid and kind of play around with just the mattes on the crease. Or if you're more on the conservative side, you could always just pop the metallics on the center to create a beautiful halo. She did a really good job with this palette. I got it when it first launched. I don't know if they've reformulated or what the case is, but when it comes to this one, it made me so happy to have been able to snag her, and I do use her quite often. Now, if you know me, you must have expected for me to feature the Dominique Cosmetics Transition palette in this video. It's a must-have. I've featured this so much here on the channel, to the point that so many of you guys jumped in and snagged your own and are also in love with it. Just by looking at the color story, you know for a fact that Dominique Cosmetics did their thing with this palette. And of course, the quality of their formulas are absolutely everything. One of my favorites actually, but I will tell you, I think it was friggin' genius that they added shades that you can use to set the under, like this is so multitaskable. This is not just for the eyeballs, okay? You can contour, you can bronze, you can use for blush, you can set the under eye with these shades. Of course, you have to choose a shade that works for you, but you understand they took multitasking a powder to a whole nother dimension, not even a level. And for that, this baby stays in my life forever. Now I've decided to rip these two off like a band-aid because I don't want people to be upset at me. I know that people are like kind of like in between. Some are here, some are there, some people are in between. I'm nowhere to be found, okay? Because at the end of the day, it's not about the person themselves. Sometimes it is, but it's really more about the quality and just whether or not I really wanted to try a product. And in this case, it was both. Jaclyn Hill palette number 1 and number 2. This one is my most recent purchase when it comes to Jaclyn Hill. So let's get into this one. This is not the original formula. I don't know what the original formula looks like. I didn't try it. When I tried to snag it, it sold out, and then I kind of got over it, and then I was like, I don't need it, and then I kept entertaining the idea, and then eventually I ended up snagging her. The reason why I love her, in my opinion, the formulas are really good. If this is a reformulated version so that the formulas could be cleaner just in general, I can even imagine what the original formulas were. These are actually really nice. I love the shimmers, like the metallics in this are beautiful. They performed so well, and I love that you get so much color, but you also get some dark shades that you can definitely work into any look. Now, I remember looking at Anne's video. She had like a little sticker here with all the shades, and I'm assuming the names were on there as well. She said hers didn't come with a mirror. This one doesn't have a mirror either, and this is like their newer, like their reformulated palette. So I'm not sure what happened, if some people got mirrors, some people did not. Did they repackage after I purchased this one? I really don't know, but it's definitely such a beautiful palette. I loved using a lot of the oranges, these bronzy shades, and this yellow. Absolutely amazing. So I ripped that one off with a band-aid. Now here's this one. This is like her collection with her mom. Y'all heard my feedback with the actual, like, you know, exterior and what I would have liked to see instead. However, Nana, this palette, it's like if you love your neutrals and love creating a smoky eye, this is the palette for you, because you can do both of those things using different tones, different shades, and different formulas, because you've got, look at this silver. This palette speaks to my heart. I love her. And not to mention, I wear a lot of black. I love me some black, Black is one of my like favorite colors. So the fact that this color story just works with everything that I tend to do like as a go-to for my eyeballs, and then at that, like the packaging is all black and gray and like mysterious. I freaking love her. So that's it. I ripped it off with a band-aid. No more Jaclyn Hill palettes, I promise. I only have 2 more to show you, and yes, they're still influencer palettes. So Life is a Drag palette was one palette that I was like, I think I'll use it, but I'm not sure. It seems kind of big, maybe a little bit on the bulky side. Do I really need her? Ended up getting her. I'm glad I did. I loved what Manny did here. So you get your matte nudes on one side, you're getting matte pops of color on the other, and then you get 2 shimmer shades, very nice creamy metallics to multitask in this one palette. And I'll tell you, it doesn't look like I've actually used her, but I have. These are the kind of formulas that you just have to go in very light-handed with, and it does the freaking job so effortless, and it works like a freaking dream. So I actually really love this palette, and I've taken her on vacation so many times, because when I go on vacation, I don't know if I want to do pops of color or if I just want to stick to neutrals. This is like a perfect palette for that. This palette has allowed me not to like stress over which palettes I want to take on vacation, pops of color or neutral. I just kind of grab this one and I'm good to go. Now here's a palette I feel like everyone should have snagged, and if you didn't, you 100% missed out. This is one of those palettes, if not the very first one, that if something were to happen and I had to run out the door and never come back, this is the palette that I would grab. I know that's really dramatic, but you guys understand what I'm saying, and I am an eyeshadow lover. I remember so vividly, this palette launched literally on October 25th, 2019. And I remember that was my very last day working at the office. I had handed in my resignation. I gave them 3 weeks notice, and that was the last day I worked at the office. And I remembered that I made it a point to get out early because the palette launched, I believe, at 1:30. That I don't remember exactly because, girl, I was in traffic. Long story short, my last day at work, I 100% did not want to work the entire day, so I made sure that I got out early, and I was so excited to get home and just start living a life where I didn't have to have the supervisor that I had still be my supervisor. That's how crappy the situation was. And I was so excited, and I get on the highway, Route 19, and I instantly hit traffic, okay? I was in traffic for a good 40 minutes. Thank the good Lord for the inventor of data internet, because the palette launched and I purchased it while I was at a standstill. We were literally bumper to bumper. My car was on park. I purchased my palette. I got really emotional because I was like, oh my God, this is my first purchase as a self-employed person. Like, this was a lot for me. And I purchased it. I made sure I got my confirmation. It arrived so fast. I dove in. I played around with her. And this is just one of those palettes that marks like a really important time in my life. And I think it was like the most perfect purchase. The formulas are everything. These are so different. You have mattes, you have sequin, you have metallics, and then you have glitters. Everything works. And I'm showing you guys like I legit am just doing a quick swipe. Like a freaking dream, more than just a dream. This is one of those palettes I will have in my collection for eternity because it means so much to me, and to me it's one of the most important purchases I made during my YouTube career because it was my very first actual purchase as a self-employed person, and it meant a lot to me that I was able to snag her. Wow, I just realized I gave you guys a little bit of a story time. Tell me these palettes don't look amazing, and if you've tried them and have them in your collection, I'm pretty sure you guys agree when it comes to color story, formula, and the love that you have for your palette. With that said, please let me know down below which one of these do you have? Which one do you have a FOMO for now? Which one are you looking to snag, if any at all whatsoever? Of course, I always want to hear you guys' thoughts, so I will be checking the comment section below. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The subscribe button is right there, and it is 100% free and takes 2.0 seconds to just click there. While you're there, make sure you hit the notification bell. That way YouTube lets you know every single time I upload a brand new video and or provide an update over on my community page. And hit the like button if you don't mind. It really helps me out. Again, I do have a vlog channel if you want to get to know me on a personal level, my kiddos and my husband. Make sure you subscribe there as well. that is linked in the description box. Thank you so much to my girl Anna for tagging me. This was actually fun. I was very nervous, but it was so much fun. So thank you, girl. I love you. Okie dokie, artichoke. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.